Chosen one. Someone lied about you, and now they're terrified. They didn't just lie, they told the wrong person. The one who could destroy their fake image, their false peace, their entire little performance they built on your name. Pause, sound of breath, low thunder rumbling. They thought they were smart. They thought they could play God with your reputation. They laughed when you stayed silent. They celebrated when others started believing the story. But what they didn't know was that heaven was listening. Your silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. You weren't losing, you were being positioned. Because sometimes God hides his soldiers while he exposes his snakes. And now, their lie has reached the wrong ears. The very person they wanted to impress, the one they wanted to manipulate into hating you, that person is the one destiny chose to expose them. Low drumbeat intensifies. They lied to a divine setup, not a human being. They thought they were having a private conversation, but spiritually, it was an open confession in front of heaven. Every word they whispered was being recorded in divine timing. You might have felt that sudden shift lately. People pulling away, energy feeling weird. Eyes that once watched you are now avoiding you. It's not paranoia, it's proof. Their own guilt has become the distance. Because the lie they spread, it's not floating in the air anymore. It's circling back to them. And the person they lied to, they're starting to see through the fog. They're asking questions now. They're noticing inconsistencies. They're realizing, wait, maybe the one they talked about isn't the villain. Maybe they're the truth. That's when fear begins. Silent fear. The kind that makes liars disappear before you even confront them. Chosen one, listen carefully. You're not crazy for feeling that shift. You're witnessing the backfire of a spiritual trap. You didn't have to expose them. Their own words did it, and the person they thought would believe their lie, that person was chosen by destiny to see your innocence firsthand. This is divine irony. God turning manipulation into manifestation. You were crying in silence, but heaven was already scripting your vindication scene. Every word they twisted is now twisting against them. Every name they mentioned in gossip is now whispering your truth in return. Stay calm, stay silent, because their panic is your prophecy unfolding. They lied to the wrong person, and that one mistake just exposed their entire web. Cue music swell, slow motion imagery of light-piercing darkness, end with cliffhanger. But here's the twist. That person they lied to, they weren't random. They were sent by destiny itself to bring your name back into divine light. And what happens next will make every hidden lie crumble in public. Comment prompt. Comment, truth always finds me, if you've ever felt lies turning into proof of your protection. Chosen one. Every storm in your life began with one secret. The secret they thought they could keep forever. The secret called jealousy. They smiled in your face, but deep down, they couldn't stand how your energy lit up a room. You didn't do anything to them. You simply existed. You glowed too brightly for their shadows. You stood too tall for their small minds. And when jealousy mixed with ego, it turned into poison. That poison became a story. And that story became the rumor that changed everything. They didn't lie because you were wrong. They lied because you were right. You carried something they couldn't fake. Authenticity. They could copy your style, your words, your energy, but not your favor. So they decided if they couldn't have your power, they'd try to destroy your reputation. They whispered behind closed doors. Fake smiles in public, betrayal in private. They played both sides, laughing with you while feeding others half-truths about you. And the sad part, they convinced themselves it was harmless. Just talk, but talk becomes tone. Tone becomes energy, and energy creates reality. They wanted to bury your light, but they didn't know your name was written in divine ink. You can't erase what heaven has signed. You can't bury what God planted in the open. You felt the shift. Random people acting cold, doors suddenly closing, conversations stopping when you walk in. You wondered, did I do something wrong? But no, you didn't. You just became the topic of the wrong kind of attention. Jealousy dressed as concern. They wanted to make you look unstable, dramatic, fake, arrogant, anything but chosen. Because once people saw your light, they'd realize how small the liars truly were. But here's the part they didn't see coming. Truth doesn't hide forever. The same people who heard their gossip are starting to notice something's off. The stories don't add up. The math isn't mathing. The liar is suddenly too quiet, too defensive, too nervous. And that's where the divine twist begins. But here's the twist. The one they used to destroy you, the one they thought they had wrapped around their finger, is now questioning every single word they said. The person who once believed them is now observing. They're seeing your consistency, your peace, your silence. They're realizing, wait, the energy doesn't match the story. And that moment of realization is the beginning of exposure. You see, chosen one, God never lets lies live comfortably. He lets them run wild for a season, just long enough for truth to build its evidence. And when the moment comes, one small crack in their performance turns into a public collapse. They think they're in control, but spiritually, they're under investigation. The very mouth that spoke against you is being cross-examined by karma. The same people who laughed at your pain are now whispering, something's not right. Because when you carry divine energy, lies can't stick. They slide off like oil on water. Every attempt to bury you only ends up digging their own hole deeper. So don't fight back. Don't explain. Just keep glowing. Because your glow is the evidence. You don't need revenge when their own guilt is screaming louder than your silence ever could. They started this with jealousy, but heaven's ending it with justice. Every false story is turning into their biggest lesson. Comment prompt. Comment, truth always finds me. If you've ever watched people lie about you and then slowly vanish when their own words betrayed them. Chosen one. Here's the part they never saw coming. The person they lied to wasn't random. The situation wasn't coincidence. That moment, that room, that conversation was a divine setup. They thought they were whispering safely behind your back, but heaven placed the wrong person right in front of them. The one who had the power to check facts, the one who actually knows your truth. You see, the universe doesn't allow a lie to travel too far without planting an audience of justice. And this time, that audience was a listener who was meant to become your defender. They opened their mouth with full confidence, talking like they had proof, twisting stories, adding emotion to make it sound real. They spoke like they were the victim, but they didn't realize the one they were talking to already felt your energy. That person had seen your kindness, your consistency, your silence. They'd witnessed your character firsthand. So when the liar began painting you as something dark, something fake, a small voice inside that listener whispered, "Wait, that doesn't sound like them." That's where divine reversal begins, quietly, invisibly, and without warning. The liar didn't know they were testifying against themselves. They didn't know that the person across the table was heaven's undercover witness. While they smiled and gossiped, the energy shifted in the room. Because truth and deception can't breathe the same air for too long, they lied to the wrong person. That's it. That's the sentence that flips the whole timeline. Because once a lie reaches the wrong ears, the right ears, it begins to decay from the inside out. The person who heard it starts connecting dots. They remember your kindness when others were cold. They recall your silence when others were dramatic. They replay your calm when others tried to provoke you. And suddenly the picture doesn't fit the story. They begin to ask silent questions. If this chosen one was really so bad, why are they never the one talking? If the rumor was true, why do I feel peace around them and chaos around you? That's the divine investigation at work. No lawyers, no arguments, just energy, truth, and time. Because chosen one, when you walk in divine light, you never need to prove your side. The truth defends itself through timing, patterns, and people. Every lie eventually lands in front of someone who refuses to be manipulated. And when that happens, when that moment hits, the liar's face changes, their tone cracks. They start avoiding that same person they once tried to impress. Because guilt recognizes awareness. They realize, oh no, They know. They feel the walls close in, the silence grow heavy. Because the person who used to believe their every word has gone quiet. Not because they're convinced, but because they've started watching. They notice every inconsistency, every nervous laugh, every fake apology. They see how desperate the liar becomes to maintain control of the narrative. But the more they talk, the more they expose themselves. That's how karma works. It doesn't strike like lightning. It leaks like truth. And the truth is leaking everywhere now. But here's the twist. That same person they lied to, the one they thought they had fooled forever, they are now defending your name in private conversations. They are quietly correcting the narrative. They are exposing the manipulator without even mentioning your name. Meanwhile, the liar hides in shame, too afraid to face the one they deceived, because they know what's coming next: exposure. The energy of truth is surrounding them like a mirror they can't escape. They'll start avoiding you, avoiding the listener, avoiding anyone who reminds them of the lie. They'll pretend they're too busy, too tired, too focused on peace, but deep down, they're running from the evidence. Because that wrong person wasn't random. They were heaven's hidden witness. The universe placed them there as the final proof that God hears conversations you never even knew existed. So don't stress about what was said. It's already being handled. The lie has reached its expiration date. The truth is defending you in rooms you've never entered, and people are seeing your name in a whole new light. Chosen one, you don't need revenge. You don't even need explanation. Just stay silent and focused, because silence is the sound of power when truth is doing the talking. The same words that were used to break you are now being rewritten to bless you. The same voices that tried to discredit you are being forced to validate you. And the same wrong person they confided in is now the one heaven is using to turn the tables completely in your favor. Comment prompt. Type "The truth defends itself" if you know lies never last long, because what's meant for you will always come out shining. Chosen one. The exposure has begun, but it's not loud. It's not public. It's silent. There's no announcement, no confrontation, no viral argument, just a shift, a slow, divine unraveling that nobody can stop. They're suddenly distant. Their messages sound forced. Their laughter feels fake. They avoid eye contact when your name comes up. Why? Because exposure doesn't need your announcement. It starts with their own guilt. Guilt has a frequency, and it's louder than any confession. They thought they could hide it, but their energy betrayed them before their words did. They can't even look at you without feeling the mirror of truth reflect back at them. Every lie they told now echoes in their head like a broken record, and the silence between you is screaming louder than any argument ever could. Their social media starts to change. Cryptic posts, fake peace quotes, random stories about moving on and protecting energy. They post to look unbothered, but deep down they're being haunted by what they created. They can't sleep right. They can't fake right. Because once you lie about a chosen one, that energy starts to turn on you. Piece by piece, silently, spiritually, perfectly timed. And the most shocking part? You didn't even have to say a word. You just kept walking. You kept glowing. You kept doing what you were called to do. And heaven made your light impossible to deny. Now the same people who once believed their lies are starting to feel something strange. Doubt. They're replaying conversations. They're realizing inconsistencies. They're remembering how your energy always felt calm, while the liar's energy always felt chaotic. They're starting to connect dots. They see you moving forward in peace. No drama, no shade, no proof chasing, just growth. And that chosen one is how karma speaks. It doesn't need fire. It needs time. Because time is the one thing liars can't manipulate. And now, their circle is collapsing. The same group that once laughed with them now doesn't trust them. Whispers are turning on them. Their own supporters are quietly backing away. They're being left alone with the mess they created. You know what's really happening? Divine isolation. Heaven is removing every false ally they used to hide behind. Because when God wants to reveal truth, He doesn't need to embarrass you. He embarrasses your enemies through their own actions. You might notice random messages from people who once doubted you. Hey, I don't know what happened back then, but I see things differently now. Or someone from their circle suddenly starts supporting your work, reposting your words, liking your content. That's not coincidence. That's synchronicity. It's heaven realigning perception, one heart at a time. And while all of this is happening, the liar starts to fade, not disappear dramatically, but slowly sink into silence. Because truth is a heavy mirror, and it's hard to hold when you've built your identity on deception. They thought they could bury your light, but the moment they spoke your name with falsehood, heaven marked the timestamp. And now the reversal is in motion. People are waking up without you having to defend yourself. Events are exposing them without you needing to lift a finger. You might not see everything happening, but trust me, every fake smile, every innocent post, every positive energy quote they're throwing online is nothing but panic in disguise. They're trying to convince the world they're healed, while silently praying no one finds out the truth that's already surfacing. But here's the twist. You didn't have to say a word. You didn't clap back. You didn't expose them. Their own lie spoke louder than you ever could. Every rumor became a confession. Every fake friend became evidence. And every bit of silence you maintained became your courtroom victory. That's how God works. He doesn't argue. He arranges. He doesn't shout. He shows. He turns whispers into witnesses and guilt into karma. And now, chosen one, the silence isn't empty. It's loaded. It's filled with truth, justice, and divine exposure. They're not avoiding you because they hate you. They're avoiding you because being near you feels like standing in the light with no mask left to hide behind. So stay calm, stay still, let the silence do the talking. Because right now, heaven is turning the volume up on their conscience. And soon, everyone who believed the lie will see the truth with their own eyes. Not through your explanation, but through undeniable revelation. Comment prompt. Drop if you've ever watched karma speak for you. Without a word, without revenge, just silent justice unfolding right before your eyes. Chosen one. The story has flipped. The air feels different now. You're no longer the target, you're the testimony. The same mouths that lied are now silent. The same people who believe them are now defending you. It's poetic, isn't it? How God doesn't just clear your name. He makes the truth go viral in silence. You didn't post a thing. You didn't beg anyone to believe you. But now the energy has turned. Everyone is starting to see who was real all along. They said you were fake. Now people are realizing you were faithful. They said you were arrogant. Now they see you were confident. They said you changed. Now they know you grew. And one by one, their supporters are slipping away, not because you fought back, but because the truth became undeniable. See, when the divine decides it's time for your public reversal, it doesn't send you a warning. It sends you a moment where what was whispered in the dark gets illuminated in daylight. A moment when gossipers lose their power because they can't sustain the performance. The same people who used to avoid you are now drawn to your energy. The same ones who laughed behind your back are now quoting your words. The same group that whispered lies about you now sits in silence when your name is mentioned. Because deep down, they know they chose the wrong side of history. Your name has turned from a rumor into a revelation. You are no longer the topic of mockery. You're the proof of divine reversal. The liar, they're shrinking. They can't handle being in the same room with you because every time they see you, they remember the lie they built. Every blessing you receive feels like a silent reminder. You can't curse what heaven has crowned. And here's the beauty of it. You never needed revenge. Your success was the revenge. Your peace was the response. Your growth was the evidence. Now the same world that doubted you is clapping. The same audience that laughed at your downfall is standing in awe of your comeback. And the liar is watching all of it, pretending to be happy for you, while secretly drowning in regret. This is what divine justice looks like. It's not loud, it's strategic. It's not emotional, it's exact. Heaven doesn't clap back. It creates a stage. And when it's your turn, the truth doesn't just clear your name, it crowns it. They thought you were gone. They thought their story had sealed your fate. But what they didn't realize was that their gossip was actually your marketing. Their mockery was free publicity for your divine rise. They introduced your name in rooms you never would have entered. And now God is making sure the same rooms can't stop talking about your glow. But here's the twist. They're not avoiding you because they hate you. They're avoiding you because they're exposed. Being around you reminds them of the truth they tried to bury. Looking into your eyes feels like standing in front of a mirror that reflects every lie they ever told. You became their spiritual conviction, not because you said anything, but because your peace revealed their chaos. They can't even fake it anymore. The energy doesn't allow it. That's the real reason they keep their distance. Why they fall silent in your presence, why their tone shifts when your name is brought up. They're terrified, not of you, but of the truth you carry. Chosen one, this is your public reversal. Heaven flipped the script without your hands touching a single page. The story that was meant to humiliate you is now the story that highlights you. You are walking evidence that God doesn't need a crowd to restore your name. He only needs time. And now, that time has arrived. Comment prompt. Comment, their lies expose themselves if you're claiming your public reversal, because silence spoke louder than gossip ever could. They tried to bury you, but they didn't realize you were a seed. Now they're watching the garden grow, and it's blooming in front of everyone who once doubted your light. Chosen one, take a breath. You made it. You didn't fight with words. You fought with faith. You didn't chase revenge. You chose revelation. And now heaven is showing you why the silence was necessary. Every moment you stayed quiet wasn't weakness. It was wisdom. Every tear you cried in confusion became the water that nourished your next level. Every time you questioned why people left, heaven whispered, because truth can't grow in fake soil. This isn't revenge, it's revelation. Heaven didn't expose them to punish them. It exposed them to position you. The lie they spoke became the proof that you were protected. The attack wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to broadcast you. Look around now. The energy has shifted. You feel lighter, clearer, stronger. The storm has passed, and all that's left standing is the truth, your truth. The same people who once looked down on you now watch you rise with awe and confusion. They can't explain how you made it. They can't understand why the lie didn't destroy you. But you do, because the truth doesn't die, it transforms. They stayed away not because you were wrong, but because the truth haunted them. Every time they saw your peace, it reminded them of their guilt. Every time they saw your success, it reflected their failure to stop you. Every time they heard your name, it echoed like a divine reminder. You can't curse what heaven protects. And here's the divine twist. They thought they were ruining your reputation, but they were actually revealing your protection. Their lie became your spotlight. Their gossip became your growth. Their betrayal became your breakthrough. You see, chosen one, God never needed them to like you. He needed them to lie. Because without that lie, there would have been no stage for your truth to shine upon. Without that rejection, there would have been no redirection. Without that pain, there would have been no power in your story. Now the prophecy of return has begun. Everything that was stolen is circling back multiplied. The same name they dragged through dirt is now being mentioned in rooms of honor. The same opportunities they tried to block are now arriving effortlessly. The same silence they mistook as defeat has become your divine shield. Your silence became your sword. Your peace became your proof. And your truth, that became your spotlight. You were never fighting to be seen. You were being prepared to be revealed. Heaven used their dishonor to build your destiny. Every lie that touched your name is now turning into divine evidence. Proof that you were never the problem, only the prophecy in progress. So don't look back. Don't clap back. Just walk in the calm confidence of knowing. They can't unsee what's already been revealed. The truth has already spoken, and it spoke in your favor. Chosen one, this is your return. Not to where you were, but to who you've always been. The real you, the healed you, the chosen you, the one who didn't let lies, gossip, or rejection rewrite your worth. Background: choir harmony rising, like crescendo, building toward finale. Heaven turned every betrayal into blueprint, every rumor into recognition, every delay into direction. And now what was meant to destroy you is about to deliver you. Final call to action. Comment, "My truth exposes every lie," if you're claiming your divine reversal. Like this video, share it with another chosen one, and subscribe, because the next prophecy reveals the 3 days after exposure, when heaven rewards your silence. Chosen one, the truth always wins, and this time, it won through you.